If you've ever felt like no matter how hard you push, life just seems to push back even harder, like striving only drowns you deeper in frustration, then you're not alone. Maybe you've chased after love, success, or purpose with every ounce of effort, only to find yourself emptier than when you started. Or perhaps others label you lazy, not knowing that your soul is simply exhausted from fighting a battle that doesn't even need to be fought. If you sense that there's a deeper rhythm to life, a flow that you're missing, it's not because you're broken, it's because your spirit remembers a timeless truth. Peace isn't born from control. Real power lies in alignment, in surrendering to the natural order of things and trusting that everything unfolds perfectly when you stop forcing it. The truth is, you're not failing, you're learning a new way. A way that most don't see because they're caught up in the illusion that effort alone creates results. But the secret is this: the harder you try to force outcomes, the further they slip away. That's the paradox of effort, and once you understand it, you unlock a kind of freedom that transforms everything. Let's explore what actually happens when we desperately cling to what we want. Whether it's a dream relationship, financial security, health, or spiritual clarity, intense desire stirs a powerful emotional fire within us. But instead of bringing us closer, this fire often burns us out. It fuels anxiety, impatience, and a sense of pressure that clouds judgment and tightens our bodies. Psychologists call this performance anxiety, the very thing that makes success seem just out of reach. When we obsess over a goal, we inadvertently sabotage ourselves, creating a mental fog that blocks intuition and saps energy. And here's the catch, as Alan Watts brilliantly pointed out. When you chase happiness directly, it slips through your fingers. Trying to force relaxation only makes you tenser. Pursuing peace often leads to more agitation because you're trying to grasp something that can only be found by letting go. Watts realized that genuine fulfillment isn't about chasing after what you want, but about surrendering enough to let it come to you naturally. This isn't just philosophy, it's woven into the fabric of spiritual traditions. Take ancient Buddhism, for example. Monks in secret monasteries of Tibet and Ladakh understood that the relentless pursuit of enlightenment actually blocks the path. A sacred sutra states, "The mind that seeks is blind. The eyes that seek are the eyes that miss." The paradox here is simple yet profound. Enlightenment arises when you stop striving and simply become present. The illusion of distance, thinking you need to reach somewhere, dissolves once you realize that everything you seek is already within you, waiting to be recognized. Modern psychology offers a similar insight through the lens of cognitive dissonance. When you want something intensely, but also fear you won't get it, your mind becomes a battleground. This internal conflict drains your mental energy, leading to burnout, procrastination, even self-sabotage. You might feel cursed, wondering why your efforts seem to backfire. But what's really happening is that your own resistance creates the very obstacle you're trying to overcome. It's like trying to hold onto a dream by tightening your grip. Inevitably, it slips away. From a spiritual standpoint, there's an even deeper law at play, the law of energy resistance. It says that whatever you resist persists. When your energy vibrates with desperation, fear, or "I must have this," the universe reflects that back to you. It's not a punishment, it's a mirror. The universe responds to your vibration. If you're broadcasting scarcity or struggle, that's what you'll attract. The more you cling, the more the universe conspires to keep you exactly where you are, struggling. Ancient mystics, like the Essenes, understood this deeply. They taught that desire fueled by personal will is like a raging fire. It consumes the very clarity you need. But when you cool that fire with trust and patience, It transforms into magnetic energy that naturally draws what you want. One ancient text states simply, "He who drinks from the cup of striving shall thirst forever. He who waits upon the waters of life will find his thirst quenched before he even asks." The message is clear. The more you try to force, the further you push away. The less you try, the more life flows effortlessly to you. If we look into the wisdom of the ages, whether from philosophy, spirituality, or science, we find a common thread. Effort, attachment, and resistance block the very blessings we seek. The masters of old understood that true power isn't in controlling life, but in flowing with it. They moved through existence with grace, patience, and a quiet confidence that everything unfolds as it should. Today, in our world driven by hustle culture, where pushing harder is celebrated as the only way, this message couldn't be more vital. Success isn't about grinding non-stop. It's about aligning with the natural rhythm of life. The one who knows when to act and when to surrender becomes like the archer who releases his arrow at just the right moment, without strain, with precision, with ease. The first key to this paradox is simple but revolutionary. The less you grasp, the more you receive. The less you force, the more you flow. The more you try to control, the further you get from what you truly desire. Wu Wei, or effortless action, is the art of doing by not doing, achieving by not forcing. It's not passivity, it's harmony. It's acting from a state of inner calm, where effort is replaced by flow. When you surrender the need to control, your actions become like water, soft, adaptable, yet powerful enough to carve through stone. Ancient Taoist teachings illustrate this beautifully. Water, despite its gentle nature, overcomes the hardest obstacles by yielding. It does not resist the current, but moves with it, shaping mountains over time. A hidden text states, "The wise move with the current, not against it. Their strength lies in humility and flexibility." This principle isn't just poetic, it's scientific. The flow state, as neuroscience reveals, is when we're fully immersed in an activity and the brain floods with chemicals like dopamine and endorphins, making everything feel effortless. Athletes, artists, and inventors all experience this. Moments when effort dissolves into pure presence, and achievement happens almost like magic. The Taoist masters understood that true power isn't in pushing or forcing, but in surrendering and aligning. When you let go of the need to control every outcome, you invite a natural harmony that propels you forward. A simple truth emerges. You achieve more by doing less. You move further by standing still. You win by surrendering. But why do we cling so tightly when we want something most? Why does the pursuit of peace sometimes breed anxiety? Why does the hunger for success often lead to failure? The answer is hidden in the law of reversed effort. It's a concept modern psychologists have explored, first introduced by Emile Coué, and later expanded by thinkers like Aldous Huxley. It states simply, the more you try to force something, the less likely you are to get it, especially when emotions get involved. Our subconscious mind plays a huge role here. It responds more to images, beliefs, and feelings than to force or willpower. When your conscious effort clashes with subconscious doubts, like trying to feel confident while secretly believing you're not, it creates an internal war. This inner conflict drains your energy, leading to frustration and stagnation. You might find yourself saying, "I just need to relax," but the more you try, the tighter you become. Because deep down, your subconscious hears, "I am not relaxed," and it reacts accordingly. The ancient mystic Rumi captured this beautifully. Try not to resist the changes that come your way. Instead, let life flow through you. When you release effort and surrender to what is, you make space for life to work its magic. You stop fighting the current and start riding it. That's the third key. By releasing desire and letting go of resistance, you remove the inner obstacles that block your path. This act of surrender isn't weakness, it's the highest form of strength. It's trusting that life knows what it's doing, and you're simply a vessel through which its wisdom flows. When you align with this deeper intelligence, the same force that spins galaxies and breathes life into every cell, you find that life begins to cooperate with you, not against you. Doors open, opportunities appear, and even challenges transform into growth moments. The teachings of the Bhagavad Gita emphasize this beautifully. Lord Krishna advises Arjuna to perform his duty without attachment to the results, to act with equanimity and faith. This is the essence of yoga, to act without clinging, to surrender the ego's need for control. In monasteries, mystics speak of Ishvara Pranidhana, surrendering to the divine will with trust and humility. When you release your fears and ambitions, you experience a profound liberation, becoming a channel for grace. Modern psychology echoes this ancient wisdom through the practice of radical acceptance. Healing begins not by resisting what is, but by embracing it fully. Resistance keeps us stuck. Acceptance frees us. When you let go of the inner struggle, miracles happen. Unexpected blessings, synchronistic opportunities, and a sense of peace that surpasses all understanding. In spiritual traditions like Christianity, surrender to divine will is seen as the highest act of faith. Meister Eckhart said, "The soul must surrender itself entirely to God. Then it becomes God." Surrender isn't giving up, it's giving in, trusting that life will carry you where you're meant to go. When you do, you tap into a limitless source of wisdom, love, and power that's always been there, waiting for you to remember. When you release control, life no longer feels like a battle. It becomes a dance, an effortless flow of giving and receiving. Doors open where there were walls, and your inner state shapes your outer reality. The final key to this paradox is simple. By ceasing to resist, you invite life's blessings in. Every challenge becomes a teacher, every sorrow transforms into a gateway, and every loss reveals a new opening. Remember, life was never your enemy. It was always your greatest ally, quietly waiting for you to say yes. When you surrender the need to control, you step into a power far greater than effort, one rooted in trust, presence, and harmony. That's the true secret of the backward law. When you stop fighting life, life begins to support you. And in that surrender, you find your greatest freedom. If this message resonated with you, and you're ready to explore more ways to unlock your true potential, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your favorite quote or a phrase that inspires you to let go and trust the flow in the comments below. Let's create a community of conscious creators, supporting each other on this journey. Thanks for watching, and remember, the moment you surrender is the moment you begin to truly live. See you in the next video.